Number one, always choose wisdom over money. Choose wisdom over money. And I know that doesn't sit well with many of you reading this. It didn't sit well with me. Let's take a look at what it means here. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 10 through 11. It reads like this. Choose my instruction instead of silver, knowledge rather than choose gold. For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her. In other areas of Proverbs, King Solomon also references your reputation is also more valuable than rubies and gold. In other words, your reputation is based on what? Your reputation is based on your decisions, on the things that you say, on the things that you declare, and actually the things that you come through with. That is your reputation. But your reputation, if you unpack it further, if you go back, it's based on your decisions. It's based on what you embrace. It's based on how you think things and how you do things, and how you do things become results, and results becomes your legacy, becomes your reputation. So if this has made an impact on you, please put it in the comment section below this affirmation. I choose wisdom over money. I choose wisdom over money. Number two, in addition to choosing wisdom over money, number two talks about loving wisdom first, which means loving God's word first, loving God first. Let's take a look at Proverbs chapter 8, verse 17 through 21. It reads like this. I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me. With me are riches and honor, enduring wealth and prosperity. My fruit is better than fine gold. What I yield surpasses choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, along the paths of justice, bestowing a rich inheritance on those who love me and making their treasuries full. Woo! Oftentimes we love that paycheck, don't we? We love that commission check. We love closing on that deal. We love those royalty checks coming in. But what does King Solomon tell us to love first? It says to love God first. We just read in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 7 saying this. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your paths straight. There's many different times that you're asked to trust God, to love God, which may feel very intangible because you can't necessarily touch it. But if you choose God, you love God, guess what happens? It's basically God's way of testing you and filtering out to make sure he can bless you immensely. So if you affirm with me that this makes sense to you and you would love to incorporate this into your life, please put it in the comment section below. I love wisdom first. I love wisdom first in the comment section below. Number three, wisdom doesn't trend. Have you noticed those trending audios, those trending reels on TikTok, the trending tweets, the trending newsline, the trend in the news cycle of the day? And usually what happens to those trends, they go away, they peak, and then they fall, and then they're forgotten about. Well, do you want your money to be that way? Do you want your legacy to be that way? Do you want your inheritance to be that way? Or do you want to be long lasting? Well, that's what King Solomon, that's what God's word is saying through King Solomon. Say, hey, listen, man, choose wisdom. Why? Because it doesn't trend. Let's take a look at Proverbs chapter 8, verse 22 to 31. It reads like this. The Lord brought me forth as the first of his works, before his deeds of old. I was formed long ages ago at the very beginning when the world came to be. When there were no watery depths, I was given birth. When there were no springs overflowing with water. Before the mountains were settled in place, before the hills I was given birth. Before he made the world or its fields or any dust of the earth, I was there when he set the heavens in place. When he marked out the horizon on the face of the deep, when he established the clouds above and fixed securely the fountains of the deep, when he gave the sea its boundary so the waters could not overstep his command, and when he marked out the foundations of the earth. Then I was constantly at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in his presence, rejoicing in his whole world and delighting in mankind. Woo! Pretty deep. What's he basically saying? What King Solomon is saying is that wisdom has always been there with God. And if you're not looking to trend your wealth, you're not looking for trends, you want your wealth and your inheritance, the decisions you make in life, prudent decisions to be made, it needs to be anchored. Needs to be grounded. See, oftentimes people make decisions today based on the trend or what's cool or what's in fashion. And I'll tell you this, wisdom is never in fashion. Wisdom is anchored. And when you think something fashionable or trendy or hot is going to come your way and it takes you away from making prudent decisions, It takes you away from wise decisions. Chances are you just got caught up and you're listening to other things. The downfall to this, I've been caught up in this many, many times. Once your decisions aren't made on values and principles and wisdom, you're easily sold into other things. You're easily believing into other things. It's easy to fool you. What did it say here in the beginning? What was wisdom trying to say in the beginning? It says here in verse 5, you who are simple, gain prudence. You who are foolish, set your hearts on it. That's what wisdom is trying to tell you. Wisdom doesn't trend. So if you affirm with me that you do not want your finances going up and down, your income going up and down, please put in the comment section below this affirmation. I choose wisdom, not trends. I choose wisdom, not trends. Number 4, listen to me means life and favor. Listening to wisdom, listening to God's word. King Solomon's trying to tell you, check this out, or deal with the consequences. Let's take a look at what he says here in Proverbs chapter 8, verse 32 to 36. It reads like this. Now then, my children, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my instruction and be wise. Do not disregard it. Blessed are those who listen to me, watching daily at my doors, waiting at my doorway. For those who find me find life and receive favor from the Lord. But those who fail to find me harm themselves. All who hate me love death. Yeesh. It's pretty cut and dry there, wouldn't you say? So I'm curious, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about the decisions you've made in your life? How are you thinking about planning for retirement? How are you thinking about making sure you're planning for any layoffs or furloughs or essential or non-essential? How are you planning for this life after the pandemic? How are you planning on things that relates to creating opportunities and opening doors for your family? Are you seeking wisdom? Or is it constantly in a position of desperation, entitlement? Woe is me, I can't help myself, the world owes me things. Is it like that? Or are you saying, yo, if you're gonna depend on something, depend on wisdom, depend on God. That's the only thing. It's not government, it's not charity, it's not friends and family, it's not an entrepreneur, it's not a politician, it's not the lottery, it's not even your money. It's wisdom. Because in finding the wisdom, in finding God's word, in finding truth through prudence, dwelling together with wisdom, guess what you're going to find? You're going to find the keys that unlocks wealth, wisdom, prosperity, and happiness for you and your family. Now, I can't guarantee it. How can I can't guarantee? Because I don't know what you're going to do after watching this video. I don't know if you're even reading this after I'm reading this right now. I'd encourage you, don't depend on me to read the book of Proverbs chapter 8 for you. I encourage you to crack open the Bible and see what God's word is revealing to you. And it's always going to change. That's why it's called the living word. Because as you grow, how you perceive things and how you think things will be how you receive things and how you act upon things. How you read things in your 20s is much different than you read things in your 30s. How you read things in your 30s is much different than how you read things in your 40s, on and on and on.